Really popular for about 3 months. Yeah.
Schools.
Yeah.
I remember that.
And really popular, and they became really expensive and a collector's item. And then just one night, nothing.
So what?
People just realised they were worthless, and so they became worthless. And that's how education also started. It's people started seeing tests as a currency, and the more qualifications you had, essentially the more powerful or the more worth you had.
So there's a weird sort of second currency and second economic state of we use these tests to sort of measure our success. Is that what we're saying? Sort of going down that one?
I'm getting a bit annoyed by all these 9-year-olds saying that teenagers don't revise.
Right.
Because while they're on their Xboxes playing Fortnite over the Easter holidays, these teenagers are revising 6 hours a day for their GCSEs.
Right. Is that something you think you're going to be having to do? I mean, are you taking GCSEs now? Is it too early?
Not yet. I'm going into year 8.
You're going into year 8?
But it's... I'm a bit worried about it because I don't know what I'm going to do.
Right, okay.
And the revision as well, I've just started doing that, and I'm
right. And how's that going for you? How's revising? Is it okay? Is it difficult? Is it hard?
It's alright when you like the subjects.
Right, so it goes back to what Mike was saying about enjoying the subject, makes it a bit easier as well.
When you're doing something you really don't enjoy, it just drones on and you're like, ugh.
It becomes difficult, doesn't it? Alright, and we've all had those days, but Archie, do you think it's becoming too boring? Do we need to stop using tests as a currency?
I would just say that, first of all, you don't need to be worried about GCSEs, just chill. And second of all, I don't think that, I'm certainly not going to use my exam results as a currency for a future. I, in a really unhealthy manner, use them as a currency for my self-worth.
Right.
And it's like, well, I kind of touched on it yesterday when I was here about how there's a constant line which is content, not happy but content, and anything below that is disappointment. So exam results don't make me happy, but if I don't get good ones, they make me upset.
Right, so maybe we're starting to use this. Is it affecting young people's mental health and how they feel? Their exams are damaging the mental health? Dominic, what are your ideas?
Personally, I think D of E is just great. I think every school in the UK should have it because...
So every school should do Duke of Edinburgh Awards?
Yeah, but it should be... Because...
Hunters get a final thought, it's a wasp, isn't it?
Yeah, because there's a lot of people that if you get a gold award in D of E, you are in lots of job applications. You are granted an instant interview for that job, and I think that's a great way to get a job without having the necessary GCSEs, and just
just opens a lot of doors up.
It shows you will, and lots of people like to see the D of E awards on your qualification
So what do you think then? Should it be compulsory? Should people have to do a D of E award? Should it go out? Callum, have you done a Duke of Edinburgh award before?
No, but my sister has.
And would you recommend it? Do you think it's good?
Yeah, I think it's a good way for children to learn how to do like camping and surviving on their own.
Right.
If they get into situations like that.
So it's good for survival, for camping. Archie, you've been waiting a while. What are your ideas?
Another thing that I think schools are doing well now is mindfulness.
Right.
Currently we did a .B course which was working on mindfulness, and no one really took it seriously at the start, but by the end people were really getting on board and not joking about it.
So we need
and I think it'll help.
So what is mindfulness? Let's get a final thought. I'm going to come to what is mindfulness. Are you shooting off, Dominic?
Yeah.
What's your final thought?
School's fun if you enjoy it.
School's fun if you enjoy it. Thank you so much for giving us your time and your thoughts. We will see you sure. I'll see you. Okay. Maybe it's time to have a little break.
Let's get a round of final thoughts.
Let's get a round of final thoughts. People seem to be splitting away, so let's whip round the table. Final thoughts from people.
Don't swallow hemlock.
Don't swallow hemlock. That's a good bit of health advice there.
I'm not shooting off at the moment. So.
Not shooting off. But what was the final thought? Because we're going to take a bit of a break. We can keep the conversation going, but
still loading yourself.
I'll let you load up and think about it. Callum, final thought, mate.
Don't do drugs unless they're medical.
Don't do drugs unless they're medical. Archie, you've been the source of wisdom today. What's your final thought?
I would say don't worry about your GCSEs, and also don't take medical drugs either.
Don't do them. Don't take medical drugs. Lots of advice there. Archie, final thought, mate.
I'd say rearrange the schooling system. Only learn what you want.
Right. Okay. We need to rearrange school system. Edward.
Are you finished for the day? Or
Sorry.
Finished for the day.
No, not finished for the day. I'm just a bit frazzled. Mike is a bit frazzled. Maybe one of you guys.
Keys as well. If you
We need to find some keys.
how long until you're coming back?
I mean, you can stay here and sit here and chill. We're just taking a bit of a break, aren't we? So I'm going to pass it to Mike if he's fine.
maybe like 5 or 10 minutes. We're just gonna have a little key panic, and then we're gonna start
Hello
up again.
It's Amelia, isn't it? Is that right? I like your outfit today. We're going to take a short break. You've come when we've just taken a 5-10 minute break. You can sit down, you can chill out. I'm going to D-Mike, and we're going to find...
Let's give Will a big round of applause, though, because he's done... We should have said that while more people were there. Fantastic job there, Will.
Right.
Have you got a final thought before you go?
No, I need a bit of a drink, I think. Stretch my legs. I'm getting sweaty knees.
Just take these off.
Because of the wasps. They're everywhere, aren't they? I mean, you guys can carry on the conversation. I'm just going to pop this.
I'm going to try and see if I can find these.
Let's try and find these friends. Or get rid of that. Is what was she saying?
I don't. It's hard to come across people who do enjoy their lesson, do enjoy their teacher, and
right.
Because you have. Like, there is many ways that people enjoy them, but they don't necessarily get the good grades. But for example, I don't like maths, but I am top set and I'm getting fairly good. I'm not saying, I'm not trying to flex.
Gear shed full of genius children. That's what it is. We just attract all the smarts.
Top set.
I don't really like. I don't like my maths teacher, but the subject's fun, and like, because we used to have this kid called this man called Mr. Davis. It's like. The teacher needs to be more fun, because like
so it's not the subjects that are boring.
He was very aggressive, and it was.
That does not sound like a positive message to be sending to young people.
It was banter and stuff like that, but that just helps you.
I'm just going to try and get all that together a little bit. Mikey was saying that maybe we're not exciting young people anymore. It's they're losing the motivation because there's nothing exciting, and you're saying it could be the teachers that aren't exciting them anymore. The subjects are good, it's just that teachers aren't giving us any more passion or joy. Gracie, what are your ideas? Not Gracie, sorry. Rosie. Rosie? Rose, I'm getting there.
So, I don't think you need to revise, because you should pay attention in class. If you don't have to revise if you pay attention in class.
So we can get rid of revision if we just pay attention. I'm going to come to Edward. What are your ideas, mate? Do we need to pay more attention in school? Are kids losing focus? We'll come over in a minute. I want to hear Edward first, though.
I think that because forgotten.
You've forgotten? Don't worry, mate. I'll come back to you. Have a think. I'm going to come over to you. I haven't been to you in a while. I've been to Arch in a while, my man.
I'd just like to address the last comment from Statement Bank over here. The fact that we shouldn't have to revise because we should pay attention in lessons. The amount of content that you have to learn for GCSE is doing 11 subjects, right? 11 subjects.
For revision is just look on your phone and see the answer.
No, it isn't.
But it sounds like there's a bit of confusion on what actually you have to do for the exam. Whoa! This isn't Talkaoke, this is Talkaoke, not Shoutaoke, alright? We've got to listen in, so let's get all those ideas together. Maybe it's that we're learning too much in schools. There's too much for kids to absorb, so you have to revise at home. They have to take on board. Molly, you shooting off? Yeah. Can I get a final thought before you go?
Just let kids be free.
Just let kids be free. Take the pressure off. That's got a round of applause. Enjoy the rest of your day, Molly. Hopefully we'll see you a little bit later. Right, Gracie, what are your ideas on this one?
So I think about the revision
Take the mic, come a bit closer. We've got room, Mikey, budge up a bit. We'll get everyone budge around a little bit more. Luke jumping up, Archie and Dominic, we can get you in the table then, Gracie, alright? We can squeeze you in a little bit more. There we go, get nice and comfy.
So I think about the revision thing is, you can always have other things going on.
Right.
So like, I've just left year 7, and when I was doing my entrance exams, I was having to cope with entrance exams and my stats at the same time, and everyone else was like, oh, I only had to do like an hour of revision like this night, but then there was me and my friend who were like, we had to do like 3 hours because we've got so much other stuff to do.
So because there's other things going on, maybe some people do learn quick, some learn too much. We're talking about, is there too much pressure on young people at the moment in school? Come sit down and have a chat about it. Lily, I'm going to come back to yourself.
And also,
come and join us.
And Also, when Rose said that you should just pay attention in class, well, I do pay attention in class, but I'm sat next to this really annoying, snotty partner called Alex, and he's really disturbing, and I have to help him. But the teacher should actually check if you're okay with that, because he's so annoying and nasty. But also, in maths and English, I sit right at the back of the class helping people. And
you're becoming the teacher in school as well, then?
And also there's Rose, and I'm at the back row, and then there's second row, front row, and a right.
There's a whole tier system at the school. It's a great point. Hold it there, Lily. We're going to come back to it. We've got Aidan and Lou that are shooting off, so I want to grab a final thought from both
My
of you.
two highlights of this session were talking about politics first, and second, being told I look 35 from this person I'm sat next to. If anyone's about at 2:45 or 4:45, come to the gin tent down there. Me and Luke are doing a quick set of some music.
Amazing stuff. Enjoy it. Luke, final thought as well, buddy.
I'll take us right back to the start of this when we were talking about exams. I think the thing that gets me most about them is I'm sitting in an exam, I'm doing some kind of work that represents my opportunity for the future, my opportunity for income, for careers, anything like that, and I'm sitting that at 9 in the morning.
Right.
And that's not the time I'm ready to be sitting that kind of exam.
So maybe we need to make exams later in the day. Is it too early? Are you shooting off? You going? Can I get a final thought from yourself?
Have fun.
Have fun. Thank you for that message, Rose. What's your idea? Final thought?
Pay attention in class.
Pay attention in class. Lily, final thought.
You shouldn't have to work with people who you absolutely hate and are not very nice.
So you shouldn't have to. You should choose you get to work with. Eve, drop some knowledge. What's your final one?
Lessons should be fun, not boring.
Right, we need to make lessons more fun. It's been great having you. Round of applause to them as they go there, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. So let's keep the conversation. Let's keep it flowing. Edward, what are your ideas?
Banning revision.
Banning revision, was that?
Huh?
What did you say? Oh, about I thought you said to ban revision.
No. I think a lot of teenagers don't revise because they get too pressured or scared that they're going to do really bad.
Right, so they don't revise because they're too worried about it. So what's the solution to this? How do we get around this, Mikey?
Well, it's a bit like money. Money only really works because everyone literally buys into it. Like it's just a piece of paper with a Queen's head on.
Right.
And we all believe it's got a certain value. And the same with exams. Exams are just a thing that people do, and we all subscribe to it. We've all done the exam, so then we don't want to admit.
So we need to
it's just an imaginary thing, and it actually. I mean, obviously, I've got a bit of an abnormal life, but in my life, these exams have been totally unimportant.
We don't need exams then. Oh, Edward's moving around. He's not going.
And it's just, I just think to me, the exams I did at school was more for the teachers than for the teachers wanted to.
So who are these exams for?
Show that they could get the kids through the exams, but it's for the teachers so that they can get assessed because they're judged on what exam results their students get.
So, I think. Sorry. Start off with a statement. What do you think?
I don't really see how it's that bad. I'd say it's just the sped up version because the Earth has.
This weekend, what do you think of the weather?
Wet.
Wet.
Yeah. And
wet? A lot wetter than usual.
Yeah. I think if it was a few years ago, probably be colder. I'd say because in the past few years we've had like the hottest summers on record.
This week we have actually had the hottest summer on record. It broke our 2003 one.
You're in the middle, don't come up with a
fact. Oh, am I not allowed to say? Okay.
Yeah.
This is so hot.
Just gotta, ask it. I mean, what has this summer been like? And then someone else around the table, I can go. You know what? This year we've had the hottest summer on record. Did you know that?
Okay.
No, actually, yeah, it's the hottest, and we nearly broke heatwave records, but the hottest June ever this year.
Okay.
I think the weather this weekend has really shown what global warming's done to the country. I think this rapid change in weather isn't good for us at the minute, but I don't know how to stop it, what we can do. I don't know if anyone around the table has the answer.
Well, I mean, I don't have the answer, but I don't even actually think there is an answer. I think we've just got to live with it now. It's more about not accelerating it. But I think we just have to get used to this, more rain, more sun, more snow.
what do you pack then? What sort of clothes are you going to pack to go out? Because I didn't bring a coat this weekend really, and I'm regretting that decision immensely. Yeah, because I thought it was going to be sunny or light showers, and it changes so rapidly.
I think that I'm going to agree. I think that there is no stopping it. I think we're just going to lose penguins and the ice, and we'll just have to live, and we'll lose coastal areas.
Okay.
And islands will just.
So we just have to deal with it.
Go under the sea. Yeah.
There's no solution. Didn't you?
Well, a lot of people are talking about it when no one's doing anything about it.
That's true. So what do you think people should do about it?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I don't know. Just
Good stuff in the middle there. Well, there's people like our camera person Ruby has started up this thing called Extinction Rebellion. But
oh really? Are you part of that?
And yeah, come and talk about it. But is that because that's something that you can do, I suppose? But to me, that Extinction Rebellion is not just about climate change, but about the fact we're losing the penguins and all these other species, and we need to do something about it. And are you worried about losing penguins? Because we are on the table. You are. Well, come and talk about it. We need to come up with an answer. Is Extinction Rebellion the answer?
Maybe it's part of the answer. Like, I think they had a lot of success in getting climate change being talked about more. That was something. It was a lot of people's first engagement with politics, even, let alone like civil disobedience, people caring enough about something to get arrested and get a criminal record and all of that. So yeah, I think it's part. They took over several sites in London. They took 6 bridges back in November, and then 4 different sites in April, and brought a good chunk of London to a standstill. And then like more regional stuff was going on as well, so loads of things.
So what do you think about the extremity of like things like Extinction Rebellion?
I think they're not really extreme.
Not extreme enough?
I don't think it's necessarily should happen. I think stuff like this has to happen because it's got to this point, this urgent global.
Sorry, just my sister. Carry on.
Urgent global problem, but what it should be is just documentaries like Blue Planet 2. That was really good because that brought it out to everyone, and plastic and climate change.
Yeah. So we need more education.
Yeah, I don't think we necessarily.
Come and join us, Lottie. This is my sister Lottie, everyone. Hi, Lottie. Look at me.
Do random names. Get everyone's names.
What's your name?
Archie. Edward.
Mikey.
Ruby.
And Will.
And that's Lottie, and I'm Amelia. Because Lottie, why not?
Can I just say, we're always looking for new talent, especially in this area, because we're developing a hub in Leeds. I don't know if you're close to Leeds or not, but we're trying to get people to do Talkaoke in Leeds. They've got their own Talkaoke table now in Leeds, so it's always good to try out new people in the middle of the table. And I think Amelia's doing a great job so far.
We were talking about it last night, weren't we, Lottie? If we'd want to do it. We're talking about climate change. Do you have any opinions on climate change? Any thoughts? How can we stop it? Any solutions?
I think that we should all go back to living like low-key, like small houses and things. Just not like it's just a big problem.
Big problem.
Reducing the carbon footprint then, but. How? No, it's right. It's me filling coffee. How do you think? What's more simplistic lifestyle? How do we simplify our lives? Because I agree. I think it's getting very complicated at the moment. But I don't know how I can change my life. Does somebody have the answer to that?
Well, I mean, for example, I'd say, okay, you've ruined your Nike trainers, but next time you don't need to get like branded trainers and be so obsessed with what kind of brands you've got, because I think that's a big thing that's driving this, is our obsession with always buying new stuff.
People have been like using.
Come and join us. Come on, we're talking about climate change.
Lots of people have been spending lots of time on like PSs or Xboxes or stuff like that. And they could spend more time in the real world then.
Yeah. Okay, we've got 2 new people. What's your name?
Chloe.
What's your name?
Ava.
Okay, we're talking about climate change. Do you have any opinions? Any solutions?
No.
No? Do you? No.
I actually think the Xbox is actually quite a good solution, because if everyone was just on computers all the time, they wouldn't spend their time going out buying stuff.
Yeah.
They'd just buy apps and games, and they wouldn't actually spend money on real stuff like, you know, like trainers or cars and stuff like that. I'm wearing a pair of like Merrill barefoot shoes from.
Very stylish.
It's a brand. It's a middle-aged brand.
Middle-aged brand.
Yeah.
Do you think we have an obsession with brands?
Yes. I'd say people would rather buy Coke and Pepsi than Tesco Cola. So, and stuff like that, they prefer the brands because it makes them feel almost like more cool and more proper, and they think they're better. Normally, so I think it's a problem, because.
Do you think that just because something's branded, it's better? Necessarily? No. Is it all the same?
Yeah.
I've got a counter to throw to Mikey's using less brands analogy. I think the thing is you can get a trusted brand. So if you're buying non-branded stuff, you don't know the company's history or what you're buying into. Whereas I know the quality of a Nike shoe when I buy it is sweatshop, so you know there's an ethical component. But I'm talking about the quality of the actual product. You know, if you to know it's from an ethical source and you know it's good, that's better than taking a gamble on middle-aged shoes that I don't really know too much about, maybe.
They do look pretty sturdy though. Good shoes.
There is no ethical consumerism under capitalism. There you go. Discuss.
Can you explain that, please?
There's no under a capitalist system. There is no like ethical consumerism. It's always just like putting the kind of ecological mindset into a money-making system, which is.
I would throw out something like Save the Ocean campaign that's going on, where they take the plastic from the ocean and create bracelets, and they sell those bracelets in order to reinvest into cleaning the oceans. So it's sort of using the capitalist agenda in order to benefit the planet. I think it's very difficult to do, but I think there are some options there where you could make a difference potentially.
I think we've got to the point where we can't really help the planet. I think our main focus should be getting off it at this point.
Where do you think we should go?
First we should build bases on the moon and Mars and things, but the nearest solar system to us, it's 4 light years away, and with the technology we have, we could get there in 20 years.
Could we?
With just the.
What if the world's not here in 20 years?
Well, then we won't be here. It's just.
What's your name?
Flora.
Karen.
Okay, we've been talking about climate change, and now, sorry, what's your name?
Archie.
Archie has said that we should just move planet. Just give up and move planet.
I think instead of moving planet, which will cost a lot of money and fuel and just a lot of effort, we should focus on solutions to how we'll survive in the next sort of 50 years.
Will that also not cost a lot of effort?
Yeah, but it's easier thinking like how to survive floods and like heat than having to get off the planet onto a new planet.
I just want to say, you know, with Archie's point about the moving planet, well, we're only using 1/3 of our planet because 2/3 of it is water. So I think technically, engineering-wise, it'd be easier to build towns and cities and places on the water world, exactly, on all of that spare ocean, rather than trying to move to another planet.
Okay, so we've got 2 new people. So what's your name?
Breed.
Carl. What do you think about moving planet? Good idea or not?
I think we haven't even used half of our planet as it is, so I think we need to maximise here first.
I think it's not a good idea.
Not a good idea.
To move planet, because if we move planet, there might not be this amount of resources, and we might not be able to survive.
Okay.
I think we need to move countries.
Move countries. Where are we going to move to?
America.
America. How will that benefit us? What's going to change if we move to America? All of us move to America?
Yeah.
Then it will just get worse in America.
No, it won't.
I think we
can't like stop climate change happening. Well, we can try, but it's never gonna completely go. But we can do our best to stop it.
Yeah. To minimise the impact.
I think the British government's strategy for reducing travel costs and reducing fuels to get everyone to go and live in the southeast of England and in and around London, so then they don't have to travel that far and deplete the economy everywhere else, so that everyone's forced to move to London. Then they won't have to travel out unless they're going to visit retired relatives or whatever.
What do you think the consequence of that will be if we all just move to London?
It'll be very densely populated. There'll be everyone will have to live in a very small area, and it's just not a good idea.
Not
really.
a good idea.
It's more environmentally friendly because then people are all packed in one space. You deliver all the goods to one place, so you save on so many costs if everybody all just moves to London. And plus, people that own property in London, they really profit from that.
Are you from London?
Yeah.
Exactly. Do you think everybody will be able to move to London? What might stop people?
I don't think so, and I don't think it will be a good thing because there's certain areas of London where it's actually more healthy for you to stay inside than go out for a walk or a run.
Yeah.
So everyone moving to London would be terrible, I think, because they wouldn't be able to survive. Literally. Everyone would end up like suffocating and getting cancers and stuff because of all this air pollution that would generate.
Okay, what's your name?
Ben.
Ben, and what do you think?
No, we wouldn't all fit in London.
We wouldn't all fit in London.
Yeah, because that means we'd have to expand London, and what good would that do? Because we're taking away space, we're having to add more space on, aren't we? It's not really making much of a difference if we're trying to be friendly on the environment.
Well, I think before you said that we should go in the sea because we're not using all the earth, and now you're saying that we should all go to London. Well, we're using that is just using less of the space that we have in the UK.
I mean, Boris Johnson actually wants to build an island in the Thames estuary, which is going to be an airport, but it could also have some housing on it, and then we could all go and live in that Thames estuary, which is an empty space in the middle of the city, really, effectively, or what the city will become. And the great thing about it is you're concentrating all pollution, all waste, all resources in one place. So, I was here on Friday night. I heard an owl in the tree just up there. We don't get that in London, and that will be much more beneficial for all the wildlife and nature in the rest of Britain, because everyone will be in London choking on their own pollution.
Is there anyone here who's not from London? What do you think the impact will be on the north and other places in the UK that aren't London?
I don't know.
You don't know. Does anyone have any ideas? What might the impact be?
I think it wouldn't be good because they'd deplete and they'd all become small council estates with no money in them. And also, about this Boris Johnson island thing, I really don't think Boris is ever going to get round to building an island.
True.
With Brexit. I don't think he'll even get a deal through Parliament. Never mind building an island.
Are you very into politics?
He's too busy dealing with riots.
Too busy dealing with riots. You had a point. What was it?
Oh no, I was just saying, does he actually listen to him? To Boris Johnson?
About the moving planet thing.
Who are you talking about? The moving planet. Okay, back to moving planets.
Yeah, about that. Why don't we try solve this pollution at our planet? Because out of the whole world, we produce like 5% of our garbage. So why don't we try to solve that? And if that doesn't work, we might just move to the moon.
Do you think that if we move to the moon, we might just do the same thing?
Yeah, and that goes for anywhere unless there's a very, very, very strong, already thriving ecosystem on there. Then we're just gonna destroy it all again.
I think if we do go on the moon, then lots of people will put rubbish on the moon.
So it just end up like the Earth?
Yeah.
I mean, just to sort of like just twist some of these ideas around a little bit. Why don't we just throw all our junk and pollution into a space? We were talking about this on Friday night. Put it all into a spacecraft and send that to the moon, or send that out to outer space, and then we'll have a clean planet. And you know, why do we want to send ourselves there when we can send all the rubbish there?
But then we'll have to do it every day.
Every single day. We could just collect it all.
Oh yeah.
We have to have a massive fleet of ships though.
A massive fleet of ships. What might be the impact?
I don't think that'll work, because what all people were saying on Friday was that we don't have the resources to send all of our plastic into the sun or out onto the moon. We're talking millions of tons of plastic waste.
Yeah, millions of tons.
We can't. We're not. In a million years, can we ever get that out?
Okay, maybe you're right. Maybe we should bury it deep underground in a volcano or something like that. That might be easier. But I think we do need to find a better way to actually get rid of our waste, for sure. And I don't understand why we can't just collect it all up in one place. Maybe in one country that nobody likes, and put it all there.
No, we all need to move to America. What's your name?
Elliot.
Elliot. What would you think living on another planet would be like?
Horrible.
Horrible. Do you not want to do that?
No, because you'd run out of oxygen and probably die.
Okay. And there's no Wi-Fi.
About moving planets, if we move to one planet, it will all just happen again. But what if we spread out and we just have spread out into smaller planets? So then there's a lot more planets.
But then, would we have a bigger impact?
Instead of moving planet, because it's so much, like I said before, because it's so much effort, we should just dump all our rubbish in the Chinese desert where nobody lives.
The Chinese desert?
No, nobody lives there. It's like inhabitable. So
okay,
you might as well do that than move.
The wind would just blow it. The ecosystem.
The ecosystem.
Not everybody. Maybe our country, but I don't know. So maybe the UK could just go a different country.
Well, why can't we just stop using plastic? Wouldn't that be a solution?
We could, but it wouldn't work, I don't think, because it's become such a big part. Almost everything here is plastic. We've got plastic.
Yeah, but could there be another material that we could have used?
Well, yeah, we were doing this, watching this thing in school, and this inventor has used seaweed to create a material as strong as plastic. It's also edible as well.
Why do you think it's not become mainstream?
Because it's only been around for like a year.
Do you think there's any other reason why it's not become mainstream? Like maybe why things like green energy's not become so mainstream? Is there a reason why that?
What? Big corporations benefit off pollution and cack materials.
Well, I think the main reason it's not got out because this guy lives in the middle of South America. But
if you've learned about it at school, people must know about it.
Yeah. Again, these big corporations, they are using plastic mainly. We're in poor countries like poor countries in Africa and South America and all these poor places. They use their basic things all come in sachets of plastic, and they don't have proper waste disposal, so that gets dumped into rivers and everything. So their toothpaste and their coffee would come in a sachet, and it's how they live, but they can't get rid of it. So,
do you not think you make more plastic waste than someone that's living in a third world country that doesn't have access to plastic toys and Lego and plastic bottles and McDonald's wrappers and wrappers that wrap your crisps and everything else that comes in plastic? So do you think you make more waste than someone who lives in like a third world country?
I'd say no, because because everything they have is plastic. Not everything we have is plastic, because in well-developed countries there's lots of schemes and supermarkets that have no plastic, and people buy stuff from there and not.
There is, but it's quite. There is, but it's quite low.
Sorry, just a hosting tip. You need to spread this around because it's being dominated by these two, and you'd spread it around to everybody else. But are you okay in the middle?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, all right. So, and also sum up as well. Sum up what we've been saying so that everyone else can get involved in this conversation as well.
Okay, so do you want to join us? We're going to talk about. It's fine. So we're talking about plastic pollution and what might be the solutions for that. And so we've talked about moving planets, talked about sending it all into the Chinese desert. What do we think the solutions are?
I think if all the plastic goes to one country, that's rubbish.
Do you think it's a bad idea? What do you think's going to happen to that plastic bag that you have when you finish your candy floss? What do you think should happen?
I think I should just put it in the bin.
Where do you think it goes though? Once it's in the bin, what happens to it?
It gets recycled.
It gets recycled.
So you need to recycle all the plastic.
Recycle all of it.
It will go in the sea and hurt the animals and the tortoises.
And the tortoises.
What actually happens to stuff that goes into the bin? Normally it goes to landfill, and it doesn't go to recycling, and then this can get blown by the wind, and eventually this ends up in rivers and into the sea, which pollutes coral reefs, which pollute our fish, and fish are a massive part of our diet, which also comes back to us. So basically we're killing everything.
How do we break this cycle?
Break it? Well, we could just half of the population move to the moon and half of the plastic.
You really like this moon idea.
Yeah. And then the rest of us just stay on the planet Earth.
Okay.
The only people really that are managing to break the cycle are people like Nigel Farage and Boris Johnson, because what they're doing is they are reducing the size of the British economy, and most of our goods are imported. So we will no longer be able to import all this plastic from China. So we'll have to come out with our own stuff we're going to have to make out of wood and grass and straw, because we won't have access to oil and plastic. So in a way, it is a way of breaking the cycle just by crashing the economy.
Okay, so we've got a new person here. What's your name?
Finley.
What do you think about plastic pollution?
Someone get involved.
Do you think that there's a solution to plastic pollution?
Probably not.
Probably not.
It is a big thing and all.
It's a big thing. Do you think it can stay in the sea?
Yeah.
Can't clean that up. Okay. What do you
The
think?
best thing we can do is let robots take over, because they're not going to pollute since they're smarter than us.
But what's going to fuel the robots?
Oil.
Oil. And what?
Solar power robots.
My teacher once in school, he showed us photos of his friend in Cornwall took of the beach, and you can't see any of the sand, and it's quite a way away from the actual sea, and all it is just plastic bottles and like plastic milk caps and things, and it's just filled with all this plastic that we've just thrown into our bins and have just ended up on the beach.
I think we could go on the beach and get all the plastic off the beach.
Off the beach. So we all need to just clean it up.
Yeah.
But then where's it going to go? If it follows the cycle, it could just end up back in the sea.
I think the main way to just prevent this happening in the future is just to put a ban on plastic. Slowly start banning it. Like start with straws and then
Popular
go to
idea.
Just put a ban, because people aren't going to listen.
But what
otherwise.
about plastic that's necessary?
Well, just put a ban on
example, in
some
hospitals.
But
People who can't drink.
I don't know. Just
What do you think?
Hospitals are allowed plastic,
but everyone else is not.
Not.
Is that what the ban's gonna look like?
All we have to do is just not use plastic that we don't need to use.
Okay,
like using straws with plastic, you can just use paper ones, can't you?
Can I just ask, because like toys are mainly made out of plastic, and would we want to ban all toys, or at least all plastic toys?
Would it make you happy to ban plastic?
What effect would that have on young people to ban all plastic toys?
Would it make us happy?
Yeah, but most plastic toys wouldn't go to the recycling or to the waste. They'd be used and maybe passed down or stuff.
Reused in charity shops and things like that.
Do you think we should ban the toys in a McDonald's Happy Meal?
Yes.
And a Kinder Surprise.
Lottie, you always get a Happy Meal because you like small meals and you always come back with a plastic toy. What do you think?
Well, I just think that they should maybe do options, maybe pay extra for the plastic toy to prevent a lot of people getting it. And also, this generation now that's growing up, all they care about is technology and things. Like, I feel like we should try more towards like solar panel technology than caring about the toys, because like loads of children don't care about toys anymore.
Okay. Do you get McDonald's Happy Meals?
No, but I use.
Do you get McDonald's Happy Meals?
No.
Does anyone get McDonald's Happy Meals?
No. My sister does.
Your sisters. Do you think she would care if we took the toy out?
No.
No?
No.
Sometimes it's just trash that nobody uses.
Yeah, use it once and that's it.
I'd say that I think we should have a ban on single-use plastic.
Single-use plastic,
Not
okay.
reusable plastic, like this table, for example.
Okay.
Single-use plastic, like plastic bags and Happy Meal toys.
But
They
doesn't
would
that
probably go
plastic
into that.
end up in the same place as single-use plastic?
Yes.
Sorry.
I think we could just put teddies in, not plastic toys, just teddies.
But what are teddies made of?
Felt? No. Yeah, felt.
Felt.
Plastic fibres.
Yeah.
Plastic fibres. Our clothes are made of plastic fibres. So in the
Polyester.
wash, about 1 million, I think it is, microplastics go into the drains, and they end up in the rivers, which go into the sea.
I think it's interesting that whenever we start talking about climate change, the subject always gets like stuck on plastic. Like actually, the other two massive factors are the food industry and the textile industry. I think it's quite a clever trick done by the market to make us all just focus on this one tiny little aspect, when actually there's a lot
other
more.
problems.
So what are the other things then?
Yeah.
It's a lot about the agricultural industry.
Oh yeah, final thought.
Plastic is bad.
Plastic is bad.
Okay, see you, have a nice day.
So it's about like artificial fertilizers, fucking up the soil, messing up the soil. Massive amounts of waste, food waste that's going on, food being flown all over the world. And then the textile industry is also huge amounts of waste and fuel used, water used.
So what do you think the solution is?
It's more locally grown food and vegan diet.
Vegan diet. Yeah.
The only reason kids really get Happy Meals is probably like quarter or half of the % of kids that take them are just because of the toys.
Really?
Yeah,
You think
probably.
people just get them for the toys?
Yeah, it's not like half or quarter of the percent.
You first.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
I think that we can replace toys. I don't see why we should take away Happy Meal toys, because, as you were saying, people buy them for the toys sometimes, so we can make them wooden or out of another material that isn't plastic.
Yeah, what about giving them a book?
Well, it's not really going to work for the marketing aspect. A
read
4-year-old's
loads when I
not
was
going to
younger.
go, yay, I'm going to get a Happy Meal because I get a book, are they?
They might. That would be me as a child.
I mean, I think what Ruby's saying is more the meat in the burger than the toy is just a bigger problem, because it's farmed and you have to use a lot of resources to farm meat, whereas if it was like a veggie burger Happy Meal, it would be better for the planet. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not like a simple answer because it's a really complex problem, but the fact that we always get really obsessed on plastic is like a problem, I think, for the environmental movement.
What about we just, instead of giving, if you have a Happy Meal, instead of giving them toys or stuff like that, you could just say, if you have a Happy Meal 3 times, you get one free.
Well, or what about, like these are saying here, the beef in the burger comes from the agriculture industry that produces a lot of CO2. If they have 3 burgers for a plastic toy, how's that going to affect the climate?
Well, I don't know really.
Any ideas?
I think someone made a vegan burger, I heard on like the radio, that tasted exactly like meat, and when someone got asked which one was the real burger, they said that the vegan burger was the real burger and the other one was fake. So we don't really need plastic to collect beans and lettuce.
Okay. So, why don't you think corporations like McDonald's use a vegan burger? Oh, 1 second. Are you going?
It's going to make a comment.
Oh, final thought. Would you ever consider going vegan?
Nah.
No? Why not?
I enjoy cheese and chocolate too much.
Okay. Why don't you see ya?
He has a limited diet.
Why don't you think corporations like McDonald's would use a vegan burger? Or do you think they would?
Well, they should, because it's good for the environment, but they probably don't know that because they're just trying to get people to buy their stuff because it tastes good. When actually they should be really trying to save the environment so that there's more people to actually do, so you'll get the same amount of money.
Oh, I don't think you would. Do you think it might not be more expensive maybe to make a vegan burger? Is it?
People seem more attracted to things that are like 100% real beef or 100%, just real beef.
So how do you think we could change society's perceptions?
Don't know. Honestly.
There it is.
I think they should only be allowed to call it a Happy Meal if they can prove that it makes people happy. Otherwise it's like a false description of Happy Meal. I think it should be called at best a melancholy meal.
Does a Happy Meal make you happy?
Not really, because I feel guilty when I'm eating it. It's like it's like I've never tried a vegan burger because everyone just says that they're disgusting, and I just don't want to. I feel like they should work harder on trying to find alternatives to meat, like nicer ones, than having to make meat so that everyone can have a vegan burger.
I reckon it's also like a bit of a problem with the whole like lifestyle veganism, the sort of Instagram, like,
the memes.
look how great I am being vegan, and like I think people get a bit turned off by that, and it makes it look expensive and exclusive, and it's not helpful.
It looks like hard work.
Do you think veganism is for everyone? Accessible to everyone?
No, because some people just can't get away from things like dairy and meat, and
why not?
Because they've always had it, and it's hard to get away from things like that and going back.
Do you think it would be fair to raise a child as a vegan from birth?
Well, it's not really anyone's choice, because he could do that, but then the child might decide not to. Or
okay, that's not.
I mean, is it fair to the planet to raise a child as a meat eater when you're consuming all these resources? Maybe the child, when it grows up, will say, "Why have you bought all this meat and polluted the planet?" So you could say it either way. I mean, I've got some friends who have brought up their kids on the vegan diet, and they're both very, very small. I don't know. Their mum's quite small, but I don't know if it's down to the vegan diet or not. I don't know. I'm a vegetarian. I can't quite shift that. Yeah.
I think it's a really good way to stay in shape though. My friends that are vegan don't have to exercise as much or watch what they eat. They always say you can eat whatever you like and not have to worry because it's not very calorific. I don't know.
You can't eat what you like because you're vegan.
Oh, that is true. But whatever is vegan, you can consume to your heart's content because it's not as calorific as what meat eaters eat or cheese or stuff like that.
Is that because it doesn't taste as good, or just because?
Mikey's the man to ask.
Well, you're the.
Are you a vegan?
Yeah, I am. I think vegan food tastes fantastic. Yeah, I don't miss any of it at all.
Not at all?
No.
I had a dream. I mean, I'm not vegan, but I've tried to avoid dairy products. But then I had this dream about cheese and yogurt and cottage cheese, and it was just going on and on and on about all these kind of dairy products in my dream. And I don't know what it means, but next day I went out and got a big tub of yogurt.
Did you feel better?
I don't know. I just thought I'd listen to the dream. Do you know what I mean?
Do you listen to your dreams?
No, not really. I don't really have any about yogurt and stuff.
What do you think?
Well, I have a question.
Yeah.
Would you rather, live with no pollution, or just have it and eat, or would you rather eat disgusting food but have a great planet,
so do you think
or eat food that you actually like, food that you probably you think you don't like, and have the planet be unhealthy, or have a healthy planet but eat stuff that you think you probably won't like?
What we've got here, Amelia, what we do with the technique here, we call it turning the mirror, because someone asks a question like that, you should ask it back to the person that proposed it. Maybe go around the table as well. But
So what do you think?
I think you should, split your meals. Like in the morning you might have your regular cereal, but then try to split your meals.
So to try and reduce
50% of the meal, have veg, but another part of it, you can still have a bit of meat.
Do you not like vegetables?
I do.
He does vegetables.
What do you think?
I think that...
Hi guys.
I think we should grow people up on a vegan diet, because if I was growing up on a vegan diet, I would like nuts.
You would not eat any of it.
No, I would like it, because I've been brought up on cheese and things, I like that stuff now, but if I had never been introduced to it, I wouldn't like it as much.
Okay, so we're some new people. We're talking about veganism, and if it saves the planet. What's your name?
Tom.
Archie.
Jude. Robert.
Are any of you vegans?
No.
No?
But I was a vegetarian for 3 years when I was in primary school, and I can tell, if it wasn't for the right reasons, I'll tell you that. But I would say, what if you're allergic to nuts and you want to be a vegan? Because that cuts out a lot of protein, doesn't it? What do you do then?
I don't know, does anyone...
Lentils and rice and chickpeas, that's the way. Tofu, that kind of stuff.
I'm just being pedantic, I'm sorry. But I think veganism is a good idea, as long as it's not being used as a trend.
So why aren't you a vegan?
Because for me, it's kind of become more of a cultural thing, like a trend, like being that person, rather than when it started out it was kind of for the health or for reasons that were not because it's like a trend or a fashion.
Okay. Do you not think it's a positive trend though?
No.
Why not?
Well, I don't know. I don't really want to criticise people of how they live their life. So if you want to be a vegan, be a vegan.
Okay, so it's up to anyone.
Yeah.
I mean, can I just say, what about this question? What's your name again? Philip. Finley. The Finley suggested that would you rather have a clean planet and, in inverted commas, a rubbish diet, or would you rather have eat really well and have a polluted planet?
What do you think?
I'd rather not be selfish and think of the generations after and how Earth will grow.
I would like to eat less meat and polluting stuff.
Okay, sorry, just the microphones tangled.
Compromise.
All I can say is that I read about this in my French reading exam or something came up, and I would probably go for veganism if it's going to save the planet.
I would go for veganism.
I'd go for veganism. Vegan.
And what? Pardon? What was the question?
What was the question?
And would you rather live in a world where you might have food that you probably won't like but have a great world, or a world that's very unhealthy and have food that you really like?
Probably a healthy diet and a clean world.
Yeah, same. Same.
Yeah, I think that's the obvious choice, really.
Seems like these people want to have their cake and eat it, and they want a clean world and nice food as well. But can we? I guess that's what we want to do, really. In the way, it's always about that. It's always a trade-off, but we always try and win on both sides. So maybe it is possible to have a non-polluting diet and a clean world with science.
If we start making a lot more of our own food, like baking at home and making our own meals, does that help with the pollution problem, or is processed food and over farming a bigger issue?
Sorry, I don't quite understand. What do you mean?
A lot of people buy like ready meals or over processed foods if you're buying a burger. So if you're making your own food from scratch at home, is that then killing off a little bit of what you're doing? So could you make, your own meals from scratch, and then is that offsetting, like making your own burger maybe?
Yeah, I reckon that would definitely be better. I'm not like an expert on the food industry. I just know enough to not want to eat meat or dairy, basically.
Do you think that Finley here, he said that veganism could help us have a clean world. Do you think that would work completely? Hi guys.
Yes, but actually no, because if you ate loads of beans and nuts, you could end up starving the world. In a way, if 7 billion people were all eating plants, then the world wouldn't be as healthy. It would have worked when there's 50,000 humans in the whole world, but not when there's 7 billion.
Yeah, but if you're growing a cow, you're using a lot more resources and water to grow the cow and then feed a few people. If you use the same amount of water and resources, you could grow a lot more plants and feed many, many, many more people. That's the argument around not eating meat.
Veganism isn't the only option. We've got you can manufacture protein blocks and gelatin blocks as long as you can overcome the hurdle that they are going to be made out of insects, because insects for the amount of space that you need to grow them and the amount of space that you need to grow plants, they're pound for pound, they're better nutritionally.
Would you enjoy eating insects?
Eating insects?
Yeah.
Well, I've eaten an insect before, but I don't know.
I mean, a lot of people at this festival are actually pioneering this diet because the wasps keep on flying into the beer. So it is actually an experiment, unwilling experiment that we're doing at the moment. We are trying this insect diet.
You can get crickets in Sainsbury's now.
Can you?
Yeah, little bags of crickets.
Are they good?
No, they're disgusting.
I was going to say I wouldn't mind eating wasps, no matter what they taste like.
Will they sting you?
They'll be dead. I'll eat the top half. I wouldn't mind eating a wasp. I don't care what they taste like, but stuff like flies. I mean, if you look at a fly down a microscope, they're actually quite cute.
So you think it would be cruel?
Yeah.
What about other meat sources?
I'm not really that happy eating meat anyway. Eating anything live I don't really like that much. I always have guilt when I'm eating food.
But you still eat it?
From animals. Yeah, I still eat it. So it tastes nice.
I think we should just grow our own crops in our own houses, because it's easy to grow vegetables and stuff. I think, and it would just limit how much you can have.
But how would that affect the farming industry?
It would ruin it a bit.
I've gone through whole weeks just living at home and stuff and never not eating meat, but you don't actually notice. I find Monday. Monday is always wrap day, right? And we have some of the leftover meat from the weekend. But if there's not any meat, it tastes nicer. Just meat's not actually that nice if you think about it. It's a bit weird.
I enjoy steak.
I think there's this myth that we need all this protein when actually we need far less protein. We do need a bit of protein, but not like these huge slabs of meat that we think we need. It makes our bodies feel good because in the primeval context we didn't have access to protein, so we like the feeling of eating protein, but we don't need that much of it to survive, I don't think.
Does it depend how much you exert though? Because protein's like helps repair muscles, so it depends on how much you exert. We are getting lazier as a society, but does that mean that we need to cut it out completely, or can you just use it other alternatives? Like, aren't there some nuts that gives you a lot of protein maybe? Yeah?
That's a nuts idea.
I'm going back to the topic of eating bugs. How would you catch them though? Because you need to at least use a bit of plastic materials, which would also be bad for the environment.
How would you catch them?
Well, if they're farmed.
Okay, but
Yeah.
how do they catch them?
Well, no, you only have to catch 2, which isn't too difficult, and then from that you can grow millions because they
Yeah, but
reproduce
how do you catch
like
the
a plague.
millions?
What?
How do you catch the ones
Closed
that...
environment.
Yeah, they're in vats.
Oh.
Well, it's pretty easy. All you need is people working on a night shift, a strong floodlight, and a box with a open closing thing. Put the floodlight on, aiming towards the outside. When you see a bug fly in, put it down, and then next one, and then you just feed them so they can live, and then.
I would say that one may beg the question that if we're just growing lots and lots and lots of insects in a small environment, why don't we just grow chickens in small environments and fish in small environments? Because, I mean, people think, okay, yeah, like factory farming's unethical, but surely factory farming of insects is just as unethical as it is of a chicken.
Yeah.
Have you ever compared the size of a fly and a chicken?
What I'm saying. What I'm saying is that, you know, if we're talking about relatively, what I'm saying is, as the idea of factory farming, like as a thing that's happening, why should we factory farm insects when we shouldn't factory farm bigger animals?
Join us?
They're not.
No.
They're not,
Did you
they're
just say
not
no?
efficient to land.
Why should we factory farm insects when we shouldn't factory farm bigger animals?
Who said that we were going to factory farm?
In an enclosed space.
Yeah, that's.
You just said grow millions.
No,
You don't really.
well, you couldn't.
The factory is just an enclosed kind of.
That's what factory farming
you
is.
do.
Yeah, but it's not as because when you think factory farming, when you're factory farming chickens, for example, it's kind of different because they're not. What I'm thinking is kind of a box with a kind of a zooey kind of thing, like a zoo, just with insects. That kind of. Yeah, I know, but I'm not talking about cages. I'm talking about a habitat, like a zoo or a fake jungle thing, just with like mosquito nets around or something.
Okay.
But we don't need to farm them like we'd farm cows and chickens and sheep in like in cages where they're treated really badly.
Are you joining us? No? Okay.
I think I'm going to have a go back in the middle now, but I think you've done a really, really good job. So let's give Amelia a round of applause. Hang on. We're not finished yet, though, because I think we need you to sum up the conversation and get a final thought from everybody.
Wow.
What have people been talking? Use both mics if you want.
Okay, we've been talking about a lot. We've been talking about climate change, plastic pollution, just everything, and the solutions that we have to fix that. So, hiya. Sorry, just not bad. So, final thoughts. What is the solution?
The insect thing, because they don't care. They're going to die in a few weeks anyway. Yeah. Go for it.
What? Insects?
Yeah, go for it.
Fly to the moon. Zoos.
Veganism.
There's going to be an ice age in about 30 years, so leave it.
50,000. Yeah, insects.
Insects.
I just sat down, but yeah, insects, I guess.
Hi.
Humans just need to change their ways.
I think we shouldn't underestimate science as part of the answer, because we can come up with new technology, new ways, new genetically modified worms maybe we could eat, you know, that would even be more efficient, or even making food out of just air and water like plants do. We could maybe just cut out the plants and just make our own photosynthesis, and then no one could say it was cruel.
Local food sources. Everyone like growing their own little food supply in their garden.
Okay.
Let's give Amelia a huge round of applause.
That was so fun.
Did a really good job, excellent job in the middle. I'm just going to have a go, unless you want to have a go in the middle. I'm going to have a quick go in the middle, because you know I start to get itchy if I'm not sitting in the middle here. But great job, and maybe we'll try out somebody else if anyone else wants to have a go in the middle a bit later on. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna have a little, just try and cook this up a little bit, so to speak. And then maybe we'll try somebody else in the middle. Why not? Just spin around. Okay. All right. Just lock these together and spin around. That's how it's done. Okay, so this is Talkaoke. I'm just gonna lower down a little bit. Where's the other one? Over here. Okay, so let's just get some names. And we were talking about saving the planet. It was from you, wasn't it, Finley? Would you rather have a clean planet and a boring diet, or would you rather have a really nice diet and a polluted planet? I mean, maybe it doesn't come down to that. Maybe that's just too much of a simplistic way of looking at it, but maybe it does. Maybe we can go into different subjects. It's kind of up to you. My job in the middle is simply to move the microphone around and keep everyone involved. So let's just very, very quickly get around our names. Start over here. What's your name?
Finley.
Tom.
Archie.
James.
Come closer. What's your name?
James.
And
Lottie. Archie. Edward.
Jude. Robert.
What was it?
Jude.
Jude, Robert, and
Scarlett.
Scarlett. What's
Timmy.
Timmy. And
Amelia.
And
Carl.
Fem.
And we've got Will at the back there, and we've got Ruby on camera. Where do we want to go with this conversation? Anywhere at all? I mean, we're running out of time for this festival. We've only got barely 2 hours left.
Politics.
Politics, okay. Well, let's have a few suggestions in the ring. What would you want to say about politics?
Get everyone out.
Get all the politicians out, okay. Any other suggestions for a topic over here?
Is true love dead?
Is true love dead? Okay.
Is consented cannibalism ethical?
Is consented cannibalism ethical? Any other suggestions for a topic? Scarlett, anything? No? Okay. Amelia, you've been sitting in the middle. Now you're on the outside, you can say more. Any ideas for a topic?
Anything, as long as it doesn't involve Love Island, because I'm sick of it.
Okay, so what you don't want is Love Island. Maybe that rules out the cannibalism thing. I don't know. I don't watch Love Island. Is there cannibalism in Love Island? So where do we want to go with this? So we've got politics, get rid of politicians. We've got is true. Okay, let's have a show of hands. Who wants to talk about politics, get rid of the politicians? Not even you, Archie. Okay. Who wants to talk about is true love dead? There's a couple of people, jaded people over there. And who wants to talk about? You want to talk about is true love dead? No, just good. Or do we want to talk about was it ethical cannibalism?
No. Is consented cannibalism ethical or not?
Okay. Do you want to talk about cannibalism? Yeah. There's a cannibalism thing, I think. Okay. What do you want to? Can you explain it a bit more? Maybe break it down for the kids a little bit.
So it's like a donor card. If you say. If you carry around this card, you say, once I'm dead, I will donate my meat to a cannibalistic tribe. Is that ethical or not? Is it ethical for humans to do? Is it practical?
I mean, would you do it?
No.
No?
No.
Okay, but
I like the idea of keeping my body once I'm dead.
Okay, so you wouldn't do it, but you think there are people out there that would do it, okay?
It is ethical because you get rid of the body and you feed people at the same time.
Okay, so if people sign a donor card to say that they would want to give their body to cuisine, they should go for it. Yeah.
I think it's ethical. Like, you do what you want to do, but
most people are going to die when they're old, and do you really want to eat like an old person? It's disgusting.
So, I mean, should this just be for like young people that maybe die in accidents, or
Don't knock it till you try it.
Okay, have you tried it?
No, come on.
Would you like to try? Would you either sign up for a cannibalism card, or would you?
Oh, well, it's like donating your lungs, isn't it? After your heart, or like donating blood.
Yes.
Why not?
So you would donate, but would you try it?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've gone from a vegan diet to a cannibal diet here on Talkaoke. Yeah.
I would eat a person.
You would? Yeah. Under what circumstances?
I was hungry.
Okay. Okay, so you would eat a person. Would it matter if they donated their body to...
No, I wouldn't look too much into it.
Okay, so you would just kind of scoot over the legality side and just go for it, yeah?
I think it's wrong. It's just kind of disgusting. Even if they give consent, I wouldn't do it. I'd be like, sorry, but I think people deserve something more than that.
Okay, which people? The people, the hungry people, or
non-politicians?
Okay. What about politicians? Should we eat politicians?
I mean, if we're talking about Boris Johnson and Donald Trump,
then
I'm fine with it.
Okay, so you would cannibalise Donald Trump. That's interesting. Ben, over here.
I just want to say, if you want to eat people that consent to it, I think that's okay, but I don't think I'd like the taste, and we may need to add some seasoning.
Okay, you need to do a lot of work with the herbs and spices in order to make it palatable. What about politicians? That's also been thrown into the mix.
You know the way someone said they would like to eat Donald Trump?
Yeah.
The amount of makeup on Donald Trump would be enough to kill anyone.
Okay, so you'd have to scrape off the makeup?
Yeah.
Or maybe just, what's that?
With paint thinner.
Okay. Okay, you would want to roast on...
Get all the flesh off, a bit of skinny.
Okay, we're talking about cannibalism here, and is cannibalism acceptable in certain circumstances? The people, not me, I'm just a neutral host, the people around the table would like to cannibalise Donald Trump, although not his face, apparently. That's where we are right now. What about if people consented?
I think it's just unnatural either way.
Okay, it's unnatural, even if it's Donald Trump?
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't think even if people consented they shouldn't be cannibalised?
No.
Okay.
Let's just look at a case study here. The Donner Party, who went like on the Oregon Trail, they ended up eating each other. GCSEs. They ended up eating each other.
Right.
I just don't think it's natural. I agree with this guy. I don't think it's normal. I mean, it's not natural to eat any meat, actually, really, when you think about it, because it's flesh, it's just weird.
So you think you would spread it out, not just to humans, but to all animals?
Yeah, it's just weird.
Even a fly? What were we talking about earlier?
Yeah, it's just weird.
Okay, is it just weird to eat any kind of animal?
Well, do it if you want, but if the body may be dirty. Have something that you shouldn't really be eating in it.
Okay.
And it might not be good for you.
Okay, would it actually be good for you?
Well, it's like human meat is probably like any other meat. It's just cells, it's epithelial tissue, and other animals they eat each other. Fish eat fish. I've seen chickens eat chickens and chicken eggs. Probably cows aren't best because of the mad cow disease, and so eating humans, that could also have repercussions of maybe a strand of bacteria that's in humans.
Okay, so what are you saying? That it's healthy, it's unhealthy, it's natural, it's unnatural?
Well, it's not. It's essentially, if you look at every other animal, as we are a part of those animals, it's natural, but it doesn't seem it.
Okay, it's natural, but it might be dirty. Let's come to someone that I haven't come to yet. I think there's everyone. I've been to everybody now. Job done. What do people think? If somebody legally consented, would you actually eat a human being? Is it unnatural? And what about other animals? Would you then spread it for?
Yeah, I think it's dangerous eating other people.
Yeah.
If you're hungry, why not?
Okay. You tend to do more dangerous things when you're hungry, I suppose.
I think really everyone just thinks that they're too good to eat other people, but like it doesn't really matter. If somebody wants to do it, then go off.
Okay, so if it's all consent, if the signatures have been got.
If you're fine with it, do it. But if you don't want to do it, then just don't do it.
Okay, so in a way, it's about freedom, and people. If everyone agrees to it, both the hungry person and the dead person both agree to it, then let them do it. Let them do their thing. Let them be free. There's a guy at the back that needs to come into this. Come on, you can get involved.
But I think, I don't know if it's been mentioned already, but I think the health effects can really be damaging if you're eating someone of the same species. So
Really?
if we don't allow somebody to, the law says you can't abuse yourself, so you can't consent to it, can you? Go against the law. Because it can damage, I'm not a scientist, but if you're eating the same meat that you have, then it's detrimental to your body.
Why? I mean,
I don't know.
Tom is saying that like other animals do it, like fish and chickens.
Yeah, but their bodies are different.
Yeah.
Well, yes, no, the sort of thing with that is some animals can do it, some animals can carry it off, like fish and chicken, but cows can't. That's mad cow disease, and that could also have repercussions for humans, but until people try it, we don't know. There are...
don't dig it until you tried it, basically.
There are also cannibalistic tribes, and they seem to be living quite well. Well, there's one cannibalistic tribe now.
Okay.
And they've been going for a few years.
They've been doing their thing for such a long time, and they're okay. I mean, cannibalism, what do people think? I mean, yeah.
An example of cannibalism, I was at my friend's house and they just bought chickens, and one chicken laid an egg, stepped on it and started eating it.
Right. So chickens eat their
and it's fine. So chickens
okay.
can do it.
Okay.
But I'd say humans, I wouldn't want to try.
Okay, I mean, I want to, yeah, Archie.
You said about the health issues, Will. I feel like I can understand why there'd be health issues. If you think about how rich our diets are and how much minerals and vitamins and how much iron we have in our blood, if we're adding that to ourselves, that's like 2 times a human inside yourself.
So you're saying we're already enriched because we've got such a rich diet and we've actually got too many minerals and vitamins.
Yeah.
I mean, is our diet actually too rich already? This is what Archie is saying.
I mean, I don't think the ethical issue is really around the actual eating the person. I think it's sort of how do you decide who becomes a burger and who becomes like a hot dog.
Right. Okay.
Because no one's going to want to eat. Not everyone's going to eat steak.
Right.
Some people are going to want to be mince.
Yeah. Okay.
But like, you want to be a low quality food. What you turn poor people into like steak, and you turn the rich people into some sort of calamari thing.
Okay.
How's that? How you work that out?
Okay. Well, I mean, it's not for me to answer. It's for other people to answer. Who gets to be the prime cut? I mean, everyone's got a stake in this conversation. Finley?
The only reason I'd really do it if it was the end of the world and all food sources have gone down.
Okay, so how would the world end and what would the situation be?
Well, if it gets too hot, the sun's about to explode, all animals burn, all sources of veggie foods like plants burn down because of too much sun.
So they could
and I would only really eat a human if all food, or just in any day.
So you're describing a scenario where it gets too hot, all plants actually burn. Lottie, give us a final thought.
I think if you want to do cannibalism and the person who's getting eaten wants to be eaten, then
What's the problem? Okay. Yeah. What about this nightmare scenario that Finley's talking about? Is it realistic? This idea that it's going to get too hot and the plants won't grow. Is that a realistic scenario?
Currently, kind of, but not really.
Okay.
And also, you were saying about steak and calamari, this whole thing. I think that if you want it to happen, you should pay for a higher level or a lower level. If you want to be a posh food like French rendezvous, then you have to pay more money for the card. But if you just want the card,
should it be the
then
same
you
for
can just
donor
be
cards
mint.
as well? Like, if you want, instead of having just one donor card, you have like, I want to be donated to a rich person, and you've got like a gold donor
you have to
card
pay
or something.
more. It's like donor card premium.
Okay. I mean, are we actually missing a trick here with donor cards? That we've got only one grade of donor card, and we could have like a, as you said, premium, platinum, gold, and actually just a bronze if you want to just be donated to a poor person.
Just put it in your will.
Just put it. You
don't need donor cards. Put it in your will.
Okay, put it in your will. It could be done like that. Yeah.
I don't think it's fair because death is something that makes us all equal, so we shouldn't have this system.
There should be no hierarchy of donation. No. Okay. All right. Yeah.
I just want to say, we do feed our chickens chicken, and we have done that on multiple occasions.
Yeah.
I found it ethically wrong. I have to admit, but I've soon begin to realise that the chickens do not care. That what they are eating is their own species. So if we could just take that mentality, I think...
Are we caring too much? Is that what you're saying,
I think
Finn?
we are caring too much about eating human
Are we dwelling on it a bit too much? There's a point over here. What's your name as well?
Rosie.
Yeah?
Well, thing with the chickens thing, I've got chickens, but I don't know if like, because they eat their own eggs and stuff as well, so.
Do they eat each other?
No.
Okay, they don't eat each other, okay, yeah?
I also have chickens, and I've given them their own eggs, their eggshells, because they do like eggshells and chicken before.
Okay, so they eat eggs for sure.
Yeah, they will pretty much eat anything.
Yeah. Okay.
Especially spaghetti.
Okay, so should we be following the kind of ethical stance of chickens?
All I would say is that, you know, dead bodies are quite a risk, like a personal thing, and you know, you're not allowed to kind of mess around with dead bodies. So I mean, what's the difference between kind of how do I put this in an appropriate way for the children? If you're not allowed to kind of, you know, dead bodies, then why should you eat them?
Okay, you're not allowed to interfere with them in other ways.
Yeah. Why should you eat them?
Okay, so you think there's a sacredness about a dead body? Okay, there's a point. Yeah.
I don't see why not. If they're just going to be put in the ground and then decay, which is a release of carbon. Whereas if you consume it, hey, that's one cow that you didn't have to kill.
Okay, so there's an environmental issue here. Okay, I mean, I don't know, where do we want to go with this conversation? Do we want to talk about the cannibalism thing more, the histories of cannibalism? Do we want to talk about, you know, because it seems like everyone's on this kind of theoretical level. No one really wants to eat the dead bodies. But do we want to talk about, I mean, there was a point here from Archie saying we could extend this to all, at least mammalian flesh, like cows and sheep. There was that point. There was this point about the different levels of should there be different levels of donor cards, and then Amelia said that death makes us all equal. Do you want to talk about this environmental side? It's kind of up to you, but I do feel we need to move this conversation one way or another.
What about blood level? So if you've got if you've got a rare blood type, if you've got a rare blood type, then you get a higher level donor.
Okay.
But
so that would give you a gold donor card if you had a rare blood type.
I'm a bit scared of these two.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Why?
They've made so many comments about cannibalism.
Yeah. You think they might actually go for it?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I was just saying I share a tent with them.
You share a tent with them, and you've survived so far?
I'm fine.
Okay, have you checked all your body parts?
Well, you know.
He's got a couple of toes missing.
A couple of toes missing. Okay, right, yeah.
Yeah, so the people don't want to eat bodies, but that's just a mentality in society. If we raise children thinking that it's okay, and that bodies can be violated in certain ways, because there isn't actually anything sacred about them, it's just a mentality.
You think it's just our current... But is it a mentality that anybody wants to change?
Well, if cannibalism became an option and it helped the environment, then it could be a sacrifice we have to make.
Okay, I mean, is there anything else about our mentalities that we would want to change in society, that we just do it because everybody else does it? Like, we don't eat humans. That's what Tom's effectively saying. We don't eat humans just because we don't. There's nothing absolute about it. There's nothing like eternal about it. It's just a thing we don't do at the moment. But is there anything else that we maybe want to change our mentality about?
First, I just want to say we don't feed our chickens our other chickens. We feed them like leftovers. And secondly,
good job that we cleared that one up.
What if
everyone was worried about that?
Yeah. What if you know, in China with the baby tax?
Yeah.
Why don't you get paid money for having a cannibalism donor card?
Okay, so you could actually get paid for being a donor.
Yeah.
Or you could get. I mean, could we go further with this? Could you actually get paid to sort of give up your body?
If like a child dies before it can consent, then surely the parents will decide what to do with it. And if you get paid for that, then there are going to be some real wacky people who are going to start having children and selling them off as meat and getting the money for it. And that's just a bit grim, isn't it?
Okay.
The reason we don't like people doing things with us after we die is because we don't like the unknown. We don't like
Right.
being left out. So
It's
if we
our
just
fear of
if
the
we just
unknown.
got over that, then
Yeah.
it'll be fine. That's the reason we don't.
So what is unknown?
We just don't know what's gonna happen. Like we feel like I don't know. We just don't know. It's like when you're scared of the dark, you don't know what's there, and that's why it's scary.
Okay, so all of this fundamentally, says Amelia, is about a fear of the unknown. It's like a fear of the dark. It's an unexplored territory that we can't come back from. Rosie?
Also, like, people like to like respect people after they've died, so like they like bury them and stuff like that. So it'd just be really weird if we ate each other.
Okay, I mean, it sort of goes in, it'd be a huge jump away from what we do right now. Tom?
Well, you see, well, if you believe in an afterlife or not, your body's probably not going to play a part in it. Also, you're not going to have memories in the afterlife because obviously there's a store in your brain, and that's going to degenerate over time. So the dead body, there's nothing that they don't have an opinion anymore. They're dead, and once they're dead, they're not going to remember anything.
Right.
So eating a dead body is not going to be bad for the dead body.
Okay, but I mean, what about this thing that Amelia's come up with, this fear of the unknown? Is that why we're uncomfortable with it?
The unknown after we die? Is there an afterlife?
I don't know what the unknown is. I guess nobody can know what that's all about, what dying's all about, because they wouldn't be here. But is that why we're uncomfortable with this? Or maybe we're not uncomfortable. We're actually quite comfortable with it. But anyway, maybe there is a feeling that people are uncomfortable with it.
You know, all I would say is I'm terrified of dying, but I quite like the idea of someone still kind of playing around with me after I'm dead.
Okay, so you like that? In a way, it would kind of help you to die.
I mean, I don't want to just be left. You know,
Yeah.
I'd be like a little rag doll or something.
Yeah.
And people can do what they want. It's fine.
Okay, so in a way, it makes you feel better about dying if you're going to be consumed. Okay.
Eating a dead person, one, it's disgusting, and two,
Yeah.
why can't you just eat something else?
Like what? Have you got an example?
Like chips or...
Okay, why can't he just have chips? What's your name again?
Edward.
Edward. Edward says, why can't he just have chips? And then we solve this whole discussion and we can move on. What's that?
So you can get some closure on it.
Yeah, we'll get some closure on it. Why not? I mean, I think it's a good idea. What's wrong with chips here?
Pretty much it's like you have to make them and then you normally get them frozen or something.
So you're saying a dead body's less preparation than chips?
Yeah. Well, depends really. If you're making chips, then it's different. But if you're buying like frozen or from the chippy, whereas with the body, you could probably just grab it, chop it up, and put it in the oven.
Okay, so possibly less preparation time.
Not everyone likes chips.
Okay, not everybody likes chips. Some good comments, yeah.
You need to fry chips in fat, and like, where are you going to get the fat from if it's not like people?
Okay. Okay. Well, I guess with the chips, chips haven't really. Any thoughts on this? I mean, we're talking about changing mentalities, and the people around this table want to change our mentality towards dead bodies. They feel that you should actually be able to consent to give your dead body over to be eaten, and that would solve some environmental problems. And that, for them, it's just about mentality. It's about changing your mentality. It seems to be the consensus on the table. Any thoughts on that?
Well, I feel like as long as you don't know who you're eating and it's like anonymous, then it's fine.
Okay, so it's got to be anonymous. Okay.
Yeah.
What about if you did know? Would it make it a bit more awkward?
It'd make it like harder to bring yourself to do it.
Okay. Carl, have you got a final thought?
I'd only do that if it was like a last resort to Earth.
Okay, so it's a bit like what Finley was saying. If the planet is dying and we've run out of food, then maybe it's an option.
Do it. Yeah.
Okay. Good point. Thank you, Carl. Come and have a seat on the pricey seats.
I quite like the idea of knowing knowing the person you're eating. Because let's face it, we all wonder what like Robert tastes like. So I say
do we?
Say yeah. I mean, I certainly do.
Yeah.
So say Robert dies prematurely.
Yeah.
I would be really sad.
Yeah.
But if I was eating him, it's like
Would it
a
make a
taste
difference?
experience because you've got the memories. You've got the memories, and then you think, wow, this tastes amazing.
Right. I mean, yeah. I mean, they're all sharing a tent as well, but so far they've all survived.
I just want to add, what about like chips made out of humans?
Human chips.
Yeah, finger bites. Just like
okay.
battered fingers or something like that.
Would you eat it?
Maybe actually battered fingers maybe.
Okay. Okay.
But no bones, obviously.
No, but you'd make no bones about that. One more to go. Yeah.
That like you wouldn't murder someone, so and it's kind of worse than that.
I don't think anyone's talking about murder. They're talking about a tragic incident.
Yeah, but then people are like, if they want to like know what they taste like, they'll start killing other people and it'll be like a mysterious death, so they know what they taste like.
Okay, so you don't trust people to actually just keep it legit and keep it like accidental death only.
I just want to. Archie was talking about the memories and eating somebody and knowing that the memories there. But if you had to have a limb amputated, would you eat your own limb?
Okay, I'm going to turn the mirror on you. Would you?
No.
No.
Straight up no.
No. Okay. What other people would you eat your own flesh if you say it went a bit manky and you had to have it amputated? Would you eat it?
Well, not.
Let's have a show of hands. Who would eat their own limb? Who was that for a laugh? Did you say? Oh, it was a last resort. I thought you said for a laugh. That's going quite far for a laugh. Okay, you do. Is that you would as well?
No.
No. Okay. Okay. So a few people would eat their own limbs. Yeah.
People were saying earlier about maybe we wouldn't be able to do it, but what scientists do when they're looking at what people used to eat, they look in their poo, and
Right.
they found that people were cannibals and they did survive.
Okay. I mean, what era are we talking about? What poo got examined?
This is like thousands of years ago.
So thousands of years ago, people actually did eat other people.
Some tribes, and they would live. So
I mean, did they eat their own tribe or did they eat other tribes? How did it work?
I think it's mainly when there's like an invasion and they invade another tribe.
Okay, so when they've got war, they
then
actually.
their gods have already had last week's helping, so they.
Okay, so actually cannibalism used to be a thing. It's not anymore. You mentioned a tribe somewhere in the world. Yeah.
There's a human reflex that if a body isn't strong enough, it will absorb another body. It's called chimerism, and twins can be absorbed in the womb.
Right.
What if a weak twin is too weak? The other twin will absorb it.
Right.
And they'll be very strong because they'll just absorb all the nutrients, and it can be medicinal.
Okay, so in the womb, one human can absorb another human.
I mean, what is to say that people haven't been selling people as beef for like 20 years? I mean, you're not going to know the difference. Yeah, Tesco, they sell horse. No one noticed for like a few, 4 weeks.
Do you not trust the supermarkets?
Oh, they could have been selling as people. We could have never been eating meat. It could have been the cows running supermarkets, and they've been selling us to ourselves. I mean, you could get away with it. I mean, people call beef beef, so it doesn't like. It's not correlated with cows because they feel bad about eating cows. You could call people, I don't know, something else.
Would you need to have a special term for people, just as you've got? I mean, would it be like? I mean, beef is from the French, so would it be something like homme or something like that?
Phalanges.
Or something like that. Would we need to come? Now we're moving on from talking about the ethics of eating other people to the marketing of it and what would you actually call the meat. Would it? I mean, has anyone come up with a good name for human meat? Like we've got pork and beef and mutton, I suppose. What would you call human meat?
It could just be the names of the body parts.
Yeah.
It's like fingers. Fingers you can just sell off as phalanges and a human groin.
So go for maybe more the Latin terms, perhaps. Yeah. Okay.
All right, you're in a pub and it's like the £8.95 menu and you get like a starter and a dessert or a main meal, right?
Yeah.
And you think, oh, what am I going for my main meal? Groin steak.
Okay, is that what you
like loin steak, you know?
Okay.
The steak is a cut, Archie.
Okay, all right. Any views on this? What do you think about? We've got a generation of people that want to embrace and espouse cannibalism in one way or another. At least try it. What do you think about that?
Come there.
Yeah, okay. I mean, do you think they're just trying to be tough? They're just trying to be dangerous?
Stay where you are.
Okay. Any thoughts on this? What do you think? What do you think about them? I mean, everyone's been going on about how all these kids are so clever and everything. Now they want to eat us. Sorry.
Human beings wouldn't be protein rich.
Okay, they don't have enough protein. Okay.
And beef is.
Okay.
More protein per gram than a human.
Okay, so there's an argument now about levels of protein, Fen?
I just want to say, for the marketing thing, what if we just like change the vowels around?
Yeah.
So it just sounds a bit different.
Like Hammon.
Yeah, Hammond.
Hammon. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Hammon.
Hammond fet.
Yeah.
Feet. No, that's no.
Yeah. Okay,
Sorry,
so
no.
just play around with the vowels a little bit. It could be Hammon rather than human meat. We just call it. Oh, we're eating Hammon tonight. Anyone want some Hammon tonight? We're out of here, by the way. Anyway, so I feel like we're running out of time now a little bit. Where do we want to go with this? Maybe it's time to introduce another guest host in the middle of the table. There was. Yeah. Okay. You want to have a go in the middle?
Yeah.
Okay, but I don't feel. What's your name?
Iris.
Iris. Okay. I mean, we'll give you a go.
Can I go in?
Okay, I don't. Now I'm in trouble. What do I do?
2 hours this morning.
Yeah, okay.
I've been here for hours.
Okay, everyone's okay. Now we've got. You see, when Amelia went in the middle, she was just sitting here by herself. Now we've got competition. Will, how do we do this? Everyone wants to have a go in the middle. So we just put everybody in at the same time.
I reckon everyone goes around the table, suggests something to talk about, and the one that gets the most votes gets to go in.
Okay, yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, so are you guys all leaving? We need to get a final thought from you before you go. Let's get a final thought. Then we're going to do this. A great idea, Will.
The world's too relaxed, and we don't have enough motivation to start cannibalism.
Okay.
Right, I'm going to add something to my little limerick from yesterday. So, abolish the monarchy, restore the economy, the Tory party sucks, and let's eat more ducks.
Okay.
That was a bit weird.
Okay, what are you talking about? The conversation about cannibalism or the limerick?
See you later.
He's a bit weird.
Okay, yeah.
I think it's fair game.
Fair game, yeah, fair game. Okay, so who wants to have a go in the middle? Okay, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, what we're going to do, the way we're going to do this is everyone suggests a compelling idea for what we're going to talk about, and whoever's got the best idea will go in the middle. So what's your idea for what we should talk about?
Why do we go to school? Like, why don't we just use like the internet to learn stuff? And
okay, so why do we go to school? Okay, what's your idea?
Sexism, because I hate people who are sexist.
Okay, why?
Because there's many sexist people I know, and
Okay,
I don't like.
and what is this discussion about? What we want to do about sexism?
What you think on it, and like.
Okay.
I'd say, if children controlled the world, would there be anarchy or would it be better?
Okay. All right. I mean, this has been a subject we've touched on quite a lot this weekend. Okay. Anyone? Who else wanted to go in the middle?
About our film's too long.
Our film's too long.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like.
Have you got anyone in any particular film in mind? Titanic. Okay. Yeah. And what?
August's real.
Oh, Ghost's real. Okay, what we're going to do now, and I just want to see, it's not about strategical voting, I just want to see, no, I think you can, I just want to see, like a show of hands, for every suggested topic, raise your hand if you want to discuss it, but you can raise your hand as many times as you want. So
am I allowed to raise my hand?
you're allowed to. Everyone's allowed to raise their hand, including those people standing around. So what should we talk about for our final subject? Should it be Are Ghosts Real? Put your hand up. Okay. Okay. That's hang on. That's like an 8. I'm going to call that. Should it be?
That's 5.
No, you didn't see on this side. And what was it on? Our film's too long. Who wants to talk about that one? Okay, so that's like a 3. Should it be? If children took over the world, would it be anarchy or would it be quite good? Okay, that's like a 4. That's a 5. Okay. And what was your one again? Sexism and what people think about it. How can we deal with it?
How long
Okay. No strategy. I've already told you. No strategy. Okay, that's like an 8 as well. And what was your one?
Why do we go to school?
Why do we go to school? Is there any point in it? Could we just be learning on the internet? That's like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's a 7. Or you had your hand as well. It's an 8 as well. So we've got 3 8s. Oh, I counted that one at the back there.
Been in the middle though.
Has he? When? Okay, so we know, but we've got to narrow it down between Argos Real. We've got Argos Real, school, is it worth it, and sexism.
Argos Real got 5.
No, it didn't. It got 8. Okay, so what do we do now, Will? What do we do now, Will? Come on, we got a chore. We got a chore.
Why don't we just do a quick 5-minute?
Okay, 5 minutes each. Okay, so let's have Iris in the middle first. All you do is sit on the crack like this, spin around. We're going to have 5 minutes each for each of these. That's the way to do it. Thank you, Will. I'm glad you're here, actually.